Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Richard Cooks podcast. I hope that you are finishing the month strong. We are in 2023. Today is January the 31st. If you haven't had an opportunity to say something good to yourself or about yourself, please do so. Oftentimes we say good things to other people, and we often say positive things about other people. But when it comes to what we do or what we say to ourselves, we don't give ourselves the credit that we deserve. They say that we beat ourselves up 80% of the day. That's what psychologists say. And we want to go ahead and change that thought process. We want to go ahead and move forward in a positive manner, smiling, shining, and looking forward to making a brighter day and a better day. We are, wow, it's February. February is tomorrow. And if you haven't started your 2023 year off strong, you still have an opportunity to do so. One of the things, and I have to admit, one of the things that has prevented me from doing my podcast, as I have said, as I've actually promised you guys I would do, is a lack of accountability, for myself, and also distractions. And so when I say that, I don't say that lightly, because all of us, at some point in time or another, we have either lacked accountability or we have allowed things to distract us from our purpose and our direction. One of the things that I was reading today, and I want to share, and I won't be before you long. I haven't picked a specific topic, but we will certainly converse next Sunday. Next Monday. They say that 46% of Americans, they create New Year's resolutions, and they're off running. So when you go to the gym, you'll always see the gym crowded in the first week of January. But by January the 15th, 38% of the 46% fail to keep their oath, which is their New Year's resolution. And when we fail at something, if it's not meaningful, if we haven't created in our mind that this is going to, if we haven't created in our mind or said to ourselves, I have to hold myself accountable, and we haven't set the necessary parameters to hold ourselves accountable, then that New Year's resolution, which is ultimately a goal, goes by the wayside. So here you have a person who said that they're not going to eat any sweets. They're doing strong. It's 2023. The first 15 days, they're doing magnificent. And then they slip up. They go out and they go to buy a Cinnabon. Or they'll go out and, buy some cookies. And they're still within their first 15 days. And they do what most people do after that first 15 days. Once they have a craving for the sweets, and once they obtain the sweets, and once they devour the sweets, the next minute they throw the resolution or the goal out of the door. And I'm challenging you and I that we don't throw our goals out of the door. Sure, things will come up, hiccups will come up, and we will fail at some things, but that doesn't give us the right to give up. There's a difference between failing at something and totally giving up on something. That's not what we want to do. That's not the community that we want to create for ourselves. We want to embrace the goal. The goal, embracing the goal says that even if we mess up, even if, you know, we backslide, that we'll get up and keep going in spite of. Yes, I know it may be hard. I know that the temptation will be in front of you, but I'm trusting and I'm believing that you have the fortitude, and I'm trusting and I'm believing that you have the strength to continue to move on. Yeah, I know that, one of the things that I've done, and I probably within the first 4 days or 5 days, I said, oh, I'm not eating any cookies. I'm not going to eat any ice cream. And lo and behold, a friend of mine had a birthday party. The cake was homemade. The cake looked delicious. And the temptation was right there in front of me. I went to get the cake, but in the back of my mind, I kept saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm pretty sure that you've had that angel on one side and that person on the other side saying it's not going to hurt you just this one time. And so ultimately, I did it. 2 days later, because I did it that one time, I went to the market and I bought some donuts 2 times. And then I took upon myself, I embraced, and something I'm discouraging. I'm not encouraging you to take on yourself. I embrace the oh well mentality. We think that because we've already taken that step, we've already messed up, that it's okay for us to continue to mess up. My friend, my dear friend, you don't have a right. Sometimes we feel so entitled because we've messed up, we can continue to mess up. No, no, no. Because we failed at a specific goal and we failed to reach our specific goal, that we think that the goal is not worthy of obtaining. No, that's not the mindset that you and I are going to adopt in 2023. We're not going to adopt that mindset, and we're not going to adapt to the mindset of woe is me. No. God didn't do that. So we shouldn't do that. When they put, when God created us, and he created us knowing that we would fail, knowing that we would mess up, knowing that we wouldn't be, we would say to God, oh God, if you save me from this, if you gave me this opportunity, I won't do X, Y, Z. He knew that we would mess up. And yet and still, after the first mess up, he never gave up on us. After the first hiccup, he never gave. No matter how many times we have went back on our word with him, he has never gone back on his word with us. No matter how many times we haven't been all that we should be towards him, he still gives us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And I'm simply saying to you, yourself, keep giving yourself an opportunity after opportunity. However, there has to be a contingency to that opportunity. There has to be a narrowing of the goal. If the goal is to lose weight, then when you go to the supermarket, you have to fly by the cookies. You have to take a friend with you if necessary, or send a picture of the cart to your friend. to hold your hand. It's nothing wrong with reaching out, because the contingency is that if I'm going to make a goal, then I have to do every effort in meeting that goal, knowing that there's a margin of error. Did you hear what I said? There is a margin of error, but there is no entitlement to error. Entitlement says, oh, I know I'm going to mess up. No, that's not what we do. That's not how we're going to live. That's not what we were built for. There's no entitlement. The only entitlement that you have in life is to be a child of God. You're not entitled, my friend. You're entitled to royalty. You're entitled to the good things of life. That's what you're entitled to. God never intended for you to be entitled to failure. God never intended for you to be entitled for error. You're not your mistake. You are, let me repeat that. You are not your mistake. If you could say that, where you're hearing me, repeat after me. I am not my mistake. My mistake is something that I did, but my mistake is not who I am. Repeat that, my friend. My mistake is something that I did. And I've only done it once or twice, or I might have done it 3 times or 4 times. But it's not who I am. I am a good person. I am a smart person. I am a phenomenal person. You have to use these adjectives to continually describe yourself to yourself. Yes, the goal have been messed up. Now we're on January the 31st, and you messed up within the first couple of days. But you still have 11 more months to make it right. And I believe in you. And I know you have what it takes. No matter what you say, one thing is for sure. 2 things is for certain. That you have what it takes. You're not going to get all caught up into, making things right. Making things perfect, because none of us are perfect. You're not going to get caught up on when you see something as a failure. No, you're going to say, that didn't work at that particular point in time, but the comeback is even greater. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. I want you to continue to push, continue to believe in yourself, and continue to not think of yourself as your mistake, or not equate yourself to your error, to your failures. No. You gotta know that there's more to you. There's more to the person that you see in that mirror. Yes, my friend. I'm talking about you. When you see that person in the mirror, you have to ask yourself, who is that person? Superman? Wonder Woman? You just got to know that you are a superpower. So let's go back and let's digress and just talk about what we've conversed about. Let's talk about, go back over what we've just discussed. We talked about New Year's resolutions, how 46% of the Americans, they make them. 38% fail by January the 15th. And I'm simply saying that if you're in that 38 percentile, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. That doesn't mean that you are a mistake. That doesn't mean that you are an error. That means that you just made a mistake. Your actions, you may have made a hiccup, but that's where you learn. You have to look at it as a blessing and a lesson. The second thing that we discussed is you have to continue to move forward. That even though that you messed up in the first month, that doesn't mean that you don't have any other months or you don't have an opportunity to get it right, because that's a lie. You still have another day to get it right. Every day that you wake up, God counted you in. While everybody else counted you out, even yourself, God always counts you in. And because he counted you in, that means that you have enough in you to make it happen. And the third thing that we discussed is that your confessions. I am phenomenal. I am powerful. I am great. I am a child of God. That there's no entitlement. You don't have any entitlements to failure. You don't have any entitlements to make errors. However, you do have an entitlement to be a child of God. And if he holds the whole world in his hands, nothing is off limits to you. If you haven't had the opportunity, please like, subscribe at below. Please like and subscribe, and don't be stingy with the program. Please share it. If you haven't had, if you haven't had the opportunity, go to my website at www.richardtcook.com. That's www.richardtcook.com. And please follow me on all social medias at Richard T. Cook. At Richard T. Cook on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, at Richard T. Cook. Lastly, I want to share something with you. God loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. In spite of all your failures, in spite of your past, in spite of all of your hiccups, you gotta believe deep down in your soul that he loves you. In spite, he loves you. Listen to me. His grace is sufficient. We're going to talk about all kinds of topics. Please don't judge me. But next week, we'll talk about distractions. We're going to talk about distractions. Go forth knowing that you're capable, that you're able, and you're powerful. God bless you.